Hi, how you doing out there today? My name's Tony. I'm a risen survivor, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about paralysis and a procedure called Kyphoplasty. See, I have the incurable cancer, multiple myeloma, but I was caught in a very late stage, and it had progressed into my body, and I was paralyzed for over a year and a half. My story leads all the way back to hospice and a very dark situation in my life. I'm on another website where a lot of us cancer survivors share stories and also ask for advice from other people and things that we may have gone through and treatments that we have done. And someone asked this week about kyphoplasty and whether they should go through it. Well, I had kyphoplasty done on my back after I was strong enough and brought back from a very, very, very dark place in my life. Like I said, I was in hospice. I was only given just weeks to live. But this isn't about that. This was about me being paralyzed at that time and total paralysis below the waist. Actually, I was completely told my whole body was paralyzed at that time, even my upper body. My spine was so collapsed that I could not even feed myself. They had to pull me up and put pillows behind me to keep myself from suffocating. I had to have round the clock care. But after I started to get better, they wanted to do a kyphoplasty to strengthen my back a little bit. And I was open to anything at that time because God was really working in my life. I had a wonderful caregiver, a great support system, and I was fighting with everything I had. Well, they performed the procedure in October of 2014. It was around Halloween. And I can remember after I had the procedure done, they were going to put me into physical therapy. Well, I went to physical therapy. And when they first brought me in for a consultation, they didn't know how they were going to handle me because they weren't equipped to handle somebody with the bones as fragile as my bones were. And they didn't have all the machines to hold you up and just do the certain things that had to be done because I still was being lifted with a Hoyer lift. And I always had that Hoyer lift pad behind me everywhere in my wheelchair. And they always had to roll me over in a bed and put it behind me to move me. And I can remember at first they wanted to send me to another facility, and I told them I didn't want to go. I just wanted to be there because this was at the same cancer hospital that was treating me. So they actually decided they were going to bring a special lift team in to work with the physical therapist. And I'm very glad they did that because, like I said, I started the physical therapy. They did the consultation in October, and I think by the first week of November was my first time coming in. And I mean, I was completely incognito. I had a catheter. My functions, nothing worked. Well, this is another thing. Right after the kyphoplasty, I remember probably about 3 or 4 days later, I felt a sensation when I was urinating, and I said, I knew I was going to get better. I just felt it. And I asked if we could see about removing that and see if I could start using my functions on my own. And actually, we did do that, and they said I would have to self-catheterize myself for probably weeks till my body would take and be used to it since I was paralyzed for so long. But I mean, I probably had to do it 2 times, and within 24 hours, I mean, I wasn't going normally, but I didn't need to have the catheter anymore. I was just using the urinal, And I no longer had to have that catheter. I never had to worry so much about having those urinary tract infections. It was definitely a boost up because there's so many other things we have to worry about with cancer and our immune system and things like that and different types of infections. And right then, I just knew there was a lot of hope. And I've always had so much faith and hope, strength. I mean, you have to have these things when you're fighting. And you're fighting cancer, paralysis, anything. You have to be strong and have faith. And I did. And I remember we went back in and I told the physical therapy team, I said, this is November. I said, by New Year's Eve, I want to be walking with a walker. And they're like, they said, slow down, don't set your expectations up too high. But they brought the lift team in, and actually I have a picture of whenever this was the lift team that they would have to come in there every time to bring me up. They had to strap something to me. This was me when I first came there. You can always see there's that blue thing behind me that always had to be lifted with a Hoyer lift still. This was when I finally first stood. This is one of the first people from the lift team. Every place that I went, I always had to have that blue thing right behind me. It's really hard to see, but in the background, everywhere I went, this was one of the first times I had stood, and I had that behind me. Everywhere I went, it was always that. And you can see I had the catheter coming out here where I was, like I said, I was totally incognate and everything. So I'm not making any of this up. This is a 100% true story. And we started the physical therapy and just fighting every day and keep going. That's why I say don't ever give up. And I think sometime by December, I think it was, I might have a quick video. I don't know if you can see these because they're so small on here. I don't know why they are. But I have a video of me actually by that time where I am bouncing a ball. And this is right before New Year's. Okay, now take it for granted I have the physical therapist holding me up and I'm only going so far. But this is from total paralysis saying I would never ever walk again. And I'm not attributing this totally to the Kyphoplasty. I'm just trying to say, if they say that you should do it, it's a very good idea to give it a try. Because it worked miracles for me. But now we always have to give that effort as well and keep fighting. Because it's a long, hard road from wherever we come from. And to get back to that place. Now, take it for granted, I'm never going to be 100% again. I'm probably not even going to be half the man I ever was before, but I don't concern myself with that. I just know that I get up every day. I enjoy every day of my life. I don't concern myself that I have an incurable cancer. We defeat this disease by living and enjoying every day. I have such faith in my God. I have a wonderful caregiver. I was blessed with an amazing facility, cancer facility, that takes care of all of my needs. And I could not ask for more. But I'm just telling you out there, don't ever listen to the first medical, second medical, or third medical diagnosis, because I was told I wasn't going to make it, first off. Second off, they said I would never walk again. And third off, they said I shouldn't even be here. So, who knows? Tomorrow's not promised to anyone. But you just get out there and think about today. And live today to its fullest. Don't concern yourself with tomorrow. Don't concern yourself with the past. Just enjoy the present, because we cannot change the past. We don't know what the future holds, but we can surely enjoy every day that we have and each blessing when we open our eyes every day. I'm in excruciating pain every day. For I have over 18 fractures in my spine, and my body adjusts to it, and I live with it. I still need help being moved in certain places, and I have to be taken to all my appointments. I still have to have a caregiver, but still, I have a life, and that's something that they told me I would not have anymore. So I don't listen to them. I take every day, one day at a time, and enjoy life. And that's all I'm telling you. Enjoy your life. Kick this horrible disease in the rear. And a blessing to everybody. You are all in my prayers. Everybody who suffers from any kind of illness, whether it's incurable, whether it's curable, and you're suffering out there, I pray for you all. God bless you.